The new team, and then we'll have some questions.
Well, currently, obviously, everyone's heard the announcement Friday. The senator is not going to continue. He's stepping down because of family reasons. He spoke with us briefly Friday before the announcement was made, and he basically, there's no other reason that he needs to be with his family. His son's in high school, can't make it to the football games on Thursday nights because he's in Washington. He's tired. He wants to get back to doing that. So what that does for us is the governor will make his appointment, and the plan right now is to be able to have the new senator in place and ready to go by the time Senate gets back into session. So September 8th, we should have Senator Martinez will step down and the new senator should be going on. Unless something happens that causes complications, that should be what takes place. So September 8th, we should have our new senator, and there should be no delay. With the staff, the senator has talked to the governor and asked that whoever is the replacement would keep staff on, that there wouldn't be a huge layoff and then a new staff be brought in. And he's gotten assurances from the governor that that will be what happens. So we don't expect there to be change in staff. But again, it's not 100% because that is the prerogative of the new member. So, but we don't expect that to happen. So I'll still be here. I'll still be able to relay the information you're giving me today to the new guy, new girl, and we'll be able to move from there. So we can open it up now.
Zach, do we have any idea what where the governor's leaning? Will the governor potentially appoint himself?
He will not appoint himself.
He does have the ability to do that.
He does, but he has come out on the record and said he will not. So that is.
So re-election favors incumbency. It's not the rule.
We'll see. We'll see. It's been a fun.
Yeah, I'm sure it's been
fun few days. Great weekend, right?
Yeah, it's been great.
If the senator were to say, if Senator Martinez were to say, and we want to say it, at least I want to say from Greenpeace's standpoint, that we appreciate the numbers of times that the senator has voted with us. We take issue with obviously some other positions, but we are pleased that the senator does see and does understand the offshore drilling aspect and some of the energy aspects that Florida could change to. But if the ACES bill does come to fruition in Congress, what kind of a bill could Senator Martinez sign?
I'm not familiar with that one. I do know from my colleague in Washington, because I've had some discussions on environmental issues with him before, obviously in preparation for this. Correct me if I'm wrong, the Dunbar Amendment, the senator is opposed to that because it doesn't consult with Florida and it would bring drilling within 10 miles of the coast, and he is against that. He has, I don't know, you guys, I guess you are aware that the senator has worked in trying to make sure drilling is far enough away from the coast.
With the moratorium, the 1981 moratorium.
The numbers that I have are
the Dorgan Amendment. I think.
The Dorgan, that was right. Yeah, he would be against that. Yeah. So he, as far as the state of Florida is concerned, he wants to make sure drilling takes place far enough away that it doesn't have harmful impacts to the coast. As far as other states go, he leaves that up to them to decide for themselves.
What about some of the other provisions that were in the energy bill? Did the senator have an opinion on any of the financial mechanisms?
As far as like cap and trade?
Yeah.
Some of the comments that he has made, he's not comfortable with the financial hardship that it would bring to the state of Florida as far as people and what they would have to pay. He does recognize, obviously, that the environment is something that we do need to protect. I have spoken with him a little bit about it, and he is, he recognizes that mankind can have an impact there. So he's not one of those that thinks that it was completely out of our control. So he recognizes that, and he does want to make steps to have a good environment and to protect it. But at the same time, with the economy and the situation that we're in, he wasn't comfortable with the financial aspects of the bill.
Would you say that he speaks for some of the other moderate senators
I couldn't tell
in
you.
the Senate? Thank you, Senator.
And he never told us whether or not he would vote for or against it. He was kind of undecided on the issue. But that
Which
was
is actually good, because that gives us an opportunity to share information with you
sure.
that might help him to change his
Well, honestly, I'll be real honest with you. Should everything work out, we don't expect the senator to have
I
any more
understand,
votes.
but
So just so you
the
know,
senator may have input with his
absolutely,
or
well,
the
that's
replacement.
quite a possibility.
And you will.
Right, exactly.
We will, yes.
We would hope you
Keeping
should
that
We'll be
stay.
briefing him and getting him up to speed.
And do you believe that whatever the senator is going to do will still give him a fairly high profile in Florida?
I know that he
Good question.
is set on returning to private life. He wants to be able to have a voice, conversation with people, but as far as being an active elected member or active part of some administration, I don't believe he's too keen on that. He wants to be a private citizen and to work on those issues in the private sector.
Fine.
So why don't you go ahead and give your
I will.
input?
I just wanted to, because I'll keep my comments fairly brief. I wanted to start, as Jack did, by thanking you, or thanking the senator through you for his Clean Energy Action Scorecard. And you're right, he's voted against expansion of drilling in the Arctic National Wildlife Preserve. He's voted against overriding the 1981 moratorium on offshore drilling that keeps that at least 200 feet or 200 miles away from our coasts. What we'd like him to do is share with his successor through you that same kind of spirit by asking really three kind of general things. First of all, make sure, and I can leave this stuff with you.
Okay,
I can
great,
actually leave
great.
this whole packet with
Perfect.
you. This is our thank you. That sort of specifies the positive things he's done to preserve our planet so far. This is a set of letters that are signed by citizens that are going to just reiterate the points that I'm going to make with you right now, so I will leave that for you. This is one guy's summary about strong legislation and why we need that. And I thought it might be helpful to you, and I was really glad to hear you say you've asked some questions and you're learning about this too. I'm kind of an analytical person, and so I pulled down some stuff from Pew, from the National Wildlife Federation, and from PERI, National Resource Defense League, about the impact of global warming on Florida and the potential job growth and poverty alleviation that could occur if we have a strong piece of legislation to come out of the Senate. And also then just some specific information about green energy opportunities for the state of Florida. So this is from a variety of sources. We'll leave this information with you so that you can continue on your learning journey,
Great.
if you will, as a result
This
of
is-
our decision.
So you'll have two. You can share.
But first, and that's the one with the letters in it, so I just want to make sure you have those, because I think citizen input is important, and many of those people
Absolutely.
couldn't be here today. So make sure that that you guys work with Chris to appoint a replacement who understands and is willing to support a strong climate change bill in the Senate this fall. Speak out against any legislative action, and that includes local. We were speaking about local issues out in the parking lot, local, state, and federal, that would expand development of dirty energy to really right in our backyard. Got to be worrying about them today and tomorrow issues that we would love to have citizen involvement in is the West County Power Center. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but they are ramping up their energy production, which means their CO2 emissions are going up. That's an FPL plant. There have been numerous protests by the Palm Beach Environmental Coalition and other organizations, Evergrades Earth First, to stop that plant. That's a plant that once it's at full production, which is any day now, 12.5 million tons of greenhouse gases a year will spit into Florida's environment at the same time our population is declining. We've got to move away from that kind of dirty energy, and we hope that Senate legislation can help us to do that. Tomorrow, Governor Chris will vote on, his cabinet will vote on approval or disapproval of development of the Lee County nuclear power plant by Progress Energies. Would love to have Senator Martinez's staff and perhaps him have some input into that process before the vote tomorrow, and I can provide you with additional detail. We don't need more dirty nuclear energy in our state. We don't. So would ask that he take, and especially if he's gonna get involved as a citizen, my goodness, great opportunity.